Hey Kiaan, how you doing, mate? I hope you had a good week and a good weekend. I hope you got to watch a bit of the Masters, or at least the highlights of the Masters. We got to start plotting the course for when we play there. So we got to know what the course layout is like and how to beat those guys. All right, so I hope you're watching. And also we're going to watch the things that they do well and learn from them, yeah? Right, so just going through your videos there, and then please just give me some feedback as to how you're feeling since being back and stuff. How's the game feeling physically? How are you feeling? And what scores are we shooting? Obviously, we're heading a little bit into off season, but I think one of our big goals, certainly we got a little technical goals and physical goals, whatever, but one of our big goals is to shoot under par. Okay, so we've got to figure out how we're going to do that. So just send me what your game has been like and what the scores have been like. But going through your videos there, a lot of good stuff. Okay, a lot of really, really good stuff. That one driver video with legs was just a bit weird. Maybe it was just one of those things. Wouldn't overthink it. The rest is looking really, really good. Just a little thing with the irons. Okay, we just got a little bit wide with the irons, especially when you're hitting them off the tee. Okay, hitting like an 8-iron with a very wide stance, wider than your shoulders, ball slightly forward, and then you're releasing it sort of early like a driver. Okay, that's never going to work properly off the fairway and be consistent. So just make sure that the short irons are quite narrow, sort of outside of your feet to your shoulders. Okay, and then your 8, 7, 6, whatever, then you can break the middle of your feet with the width of the shoulders. Okay, and then obviously driver from there, you can do that. All right. So just make sure that stance width and ball position for the different clubs. And then the putting looking really, really good. So we saw the bad putt. Even the length of stroke and the tempo all looking better. And then that bad putt, we saw just a little bit of a loop. And that's why you kind of stalled and pulled it and mishit it. And then obviously it ended up short. So these are the things that will affect your touch and your distance control. So just stay on top of them. Okay, compared to the others, you just look nice and strong. And then that one there, the posture stuff was quite good. You were just closer, and then you just kind of looped over it a little bit. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. But keep working on tempo and stroke length. Okay, because then the other little one you tapped in, very short putt, quite a long backswing. Okay, we want to shorten that thing out. Okay, so really, really important. All right. So stance width. Otherwise, keep working on turning nicely. Okay, not letting anything get too active there. Obviously, not dipping the head. So nice, strong right leg, keeping your height. Whoa. Okay, so you can just do a little bit of backswing work where you're keeping your height, but you're keeping this right leg strong. Okay, none of that. All right, we're going to do a little bit of that. And then other than that, always releasing that right side. So don't get narrow, close to your body. No dipping of the right shoulder. Okay, nice and wide. Okay, and obviously always releasing that right shoulder. Okay, so you can do some practice swings where one hand nice and wide. Don't get stuck in here. Nice and wide. Fully releasing. Okay, and then quick setup. And then try and feel the same thing. Not stuck in here. Wide. And releasing that right shoulder. Okay. Right, so that can be a little bit of swing work. Otherwise, I'm very, very happy. Right, so mostly putting work. Right, so we're going to start adapting. We're going to start adapting stroke length and distance control together. I mean, obviously, that's kind of what it's all about. But I think mentally, it's more a case of the short putts than anything else. But we still got to make sure that the stroke length and tempo is good. And obviously, if our distance control is better, then we're going to have a lot less of those meter and a half putts anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, so what I want you to do, okay, we need a lot of tees for this. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take 4 tees, we're going to make a box. So we're not putting to a hole, we're putting to a box. Okay, let's make the box, I mean, obviously dad's feet, but let's make the box about 1 foot by 1 foot. So, foot there, foot this way. And we make our little box like that. Okay, so just anywhere on the putting green, not on the hole. We're just going to make a little box like that. All right. Okay, now we're going to practice different lengths. So, I mean, I wouldn't do too much of a meter, but you can do a few. All right, but we want to do more like 3, 4, 5, 6 meters, something like that. Yeah. Let's actually do that. Let's do. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. You can tell me how far you get. Okay, so what we'll do 5 of each. So start at 1 meter and do 5. Okay, if you stop all 5 balls in the box, then you can move to 2 meters. Okay, and then you want to try. Now, when you move, okay, just move on a different angle. So if you hit your 1 meter putts from here, then hit your 2 meter putts from here, and then your 3 meter putts from there, your 4 meter putts from there. You can leave the box where it is, just go on different angles, right? And what we're trying to do is this, right? So your box is there. Okay, we got 1 tee to mark where the ball is. Okay, and then we've got the other tees to mark the stroke length. Now, the stroke length is for the distance of the putt. So for a meter putt, you know, the stroke length is something like that. Okay? And that's going to match the front of the putter, the club face, the putter face. Okay, so there to there. Okay, and we're going to see if we can do 5 in a row. Okay. Whoa, that's only just in the box because there's a little upslope. Okay, and see if you can do 5 in a row. If you miss one, you start again. You go back. You go back again until you can do 5 in a row. There, in the box. Okay, so I got to do another 4 of those. Then I can move to 2 meters. So maybe I come over here and I now do my 2 meters. And then when I do my 2 meters, I now take my stroke length a little bit further on both sides. Ball stays in the middle. Now I do my 2 meter ones. Okay, can I do 5 in a row? Okay, and keep working, all right, and see how far you can get. So if you can get to 8, 9, 10 meters, 5 in a row, great. Okay, do it, but let me know how it's going, and then you can keep working on it through the week and get better and better and better and better. Okay, so there's some nice putting work for us to do. All right, I think that's our big difference at the moment. Now, obviously, we did change a little bit with your putting, but it needed to change. Okay, but I think the putting's really better. You're naturally a brilliant putter. Okay, but the putting is already better. It's going to take a bit of time to be confident with those changes. So try not to revert back to the long ones, even when it's uncomfortable, because then in tournament play, it's hard to then trust. Well, in tournament play, you don't want to be thinking about it, do you? You just want to be concentrating on the job at hand and make sure that the stroke and the technique are taken care of. Okay, so a lot of it is that it's new or whatever, but a lot of it's just mental. Okay, now you're going to have a lot of stressful putts or pressure putts, let's call it, over your career, for wins, for cuts, for whatever. Okay, you can't get stressed about every single one. You're just going to not enjoy it. It's going to create a lot of anxiety in you and your life. Okay, yes, every putt's important. Give it its due course. Try your absolute best at all times. Okay, but you can't be so overwhelmed by it that it's creating performance anxiety, and we now not executing as we can because we're scared of the one we might miss. Okay, they all count the same. All right, give it its due course. Do your absolute best. But if you miss it, it's not the end of the world. You are going to miss some putts. All right, you're just going to miss less than anybody else. Okay, and more importantly, we're going to make more putts than anybody else. Okay, so we don't even care. We do, but we don't even care about missing them. As long as we did our best, we read the putt, we went through our routine, we did everything correctly from our side. Okay, that one missed. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, because A, you miss less than anybody else, and B, you hold more than anybody else. So it doesn't matter. Okay, we want to hold every putt, but we won't hold every putt. Okay, it's just absolutely impossible. All right, so just try and change the mindset a little bit of how badly you want to hold a putt, number one. Okay, and then number two, at the end of one of the videos there, you had a nice iron shot. Okay, and then there was a big smile and you high-five dad and whatever. Okay, now we want to bring that sort of enjoyment and positivity into our putting as well. Okay, so we've got to create something here. All right, whether it's a smile or a high-five or, I mean, it can be a fist pump. It's up to you. So let's talk about it, me, you, and dad, and just kind of decide what we want it to be. I think we want it to be something a little more subtle than a fist pump for now. But but a fist pump can work, okay? Or a little chest pump, all right? Or anything like that, just a little positive feeling, okay? But it must be a physical thing that we are doing. All right, so it can just be a smile, fist pump, chest pump. It can be a tap. Okay, obviously a very common one, I don't know if you know or don't know, but a very common one is wiping the putter face. Okay, I feel like that one over time loses its value, but it also can work. I see that Allberg, whatever, in the Masters, he was doing a little putter tap. Okay, so it can be anything as long as it's yours. Okay, but let's think of one, maybe a little putter tap, but yeah, so not a wipe, a little double tap of the putter to say, good job, putter. Good job, did your job. All right, now this is what we got to do. So obviously we're going to start doing this slowly, but we want to do something like sort of a short meter putt. Okay, we're going to hold 5 in a row, something like that, right? So every time we hold the putt, every time the putt goes in, we're going to give the putter a little double tap. Okay, so we get it, our routine, little 1 meter putt. Okay, in it goes, little smile, little double tap, get the next ball. Okay, hold it again, little smile, little double tap. And so we go. And every time we hit a good putt, a little smirk, little double tap of the putter. Okay, and we're reinforcing, okay, the good positive results all the time. All right, and then what starts to happen is under pressure and in tournament golf, then once we've practiced this, okay, we know it's associated with holding putts. Then when we start to feel a little bit of pressure, anxiety, whatever the case may be, all right, then we start to make that move before we hit the putt. So we give a little smile and a little double tap, and then we hit the putt. And then if we hold it, we do it again, because then we must reinforce it. Okay, so that's how we're going to do a little bit of practice. We're doing the stroke length box draw this week, but we should start doing a little bit of mental practice. So on the course, if you hold some putts or whatever, you must start doing it. And I just want you and Dad and me to decide what we want that move to be, that little positive mental move. Okay. Well, it relates to mentally. It must be a physical thing that we do. That's ours. It belongs to you. It's your thing that tells you, yes, okay, you're a great putter. You hold the putt. The putt's going in. Anything positive like that. All right, so give it a little bit of thought. Maybe try a few, find one that you like. And then from next week, we're going to start practicing those and building them into our routine. Okay, mate, thank you very much. Have a lovely week. Let me know if you need anything. And I'll talk to you soon.